When was the last time you ever even looked at online porn?
You mean to get
just even out of curiosity?
Excited?
Get excited.
To be excited. I got excited.
Euphemistically.
That's how I talk. I don't know.
I know this podcast just went like fucking network version right there. You're like, to get excited? And you'd expect like Matthew Perry to say that and a fucking laugh track to be under it.
Friend. I was very excited. I got excited many times.
And I was a little excited. Oh, the audio goes like that. I'm talking about look at it. A, either out of curiosity, or B, like, I'm going to fucking jerk it hard.
Usually, like, if people send me links, I'm not that well. I don't go on the internet a ton,
Right.
like, browsing, so I wouldn't even know where to go.
Well, that's kind of a destination.
know-
Really? You wouldn't even know where to start? You're like, I'm lost on the internet.
I'm like,
How do I-
PORN.
There were categories of porn that I was not familiar with at all.
It wasn't just like a list.
It wasn't
of,
just like, hot fucking or all anal.
nurses.
It wasn't just straight. But it wasn't like fucking, hung up by nipple clamps and fucked in the mouth.
Yeah.
It was a wider variety than I'm used to.
It's kind of genres.
There were a couple different genres, but the one that to me was like, they had an all British one, which I was like, wow, that's a fucking good idea. Like, I would like to watch British people.
Which essentially is a British porn.
Right.
Somebody was like, let's just label it.
Right. It's just listening to them like, oh, fuck me in the arse. The one that I found most interesting, a category I'd never heard of before, and I was just like, wow, what a great idea, was tomboys. And I was like, what is tomboys? And I ordered it because I was so fucking curious. There's a picture. Essentially, what they define it before you buy it. It's like, tomboy are short-haired, small-boobed, athletic women.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what a good idea, man. It's like straight porn, but it's
directed towards people's like desires.
Yeah,
or,
a particular kink. Like,
yeah.
because most porn, chicks always have long hair and shit like that. And here you just had chicks that look like, for lack of a better description, a tomboy.
Yeah.
I never would have thought to classify a woman like that. Fucking over the age of, I don't know, 9. But it was the one chick they had pictured. She was in it, of course, but then the other two, I would not classify them as tomboys. One was bald. She'd shaved her head. And I got the best of both worlds because she was also British. And she was fucking 2 other British dudes. She put in me lolly and shit like that. I'm like, what's a lolly? If you were Paris Hilton's parents.
Okay.
And, you find out, like, there's this porno, that she's become, like, a fucking media mogul with her own jeans.
Are you just like,
fragrance.
well...
Do you feel like, well, it all worked out
Hotels is one way.
Yeah. You could do it. You can inherit it. You can build your own empire. Or you could start by sucking someone's dick and... Like, I guess I'm asking, are you proud?
Well...
Does it ever go beyond disgust into pride?
If I'm her parents, which I'm not, and I'm me.
Are you sure?
I'm not. I am not her father. But if I'm me and I'm looking at that situation, unfortunately, my take on it is like, what she has done is like, to me, just not really something to be proud of. I don't find it like... somebody who's famous because she's famous or however she's classified as being who she is, it's like I don't see the value. I don't see anything tangible about what she's done. If there is anything tangible, it's this fucking porno tape, which is terrible porn.
Which is bad.
So
porn.
I can't even like sit there and go like, that was the fucking hottest porn I've ever
she
seen.
made a real classy porn.
Yeah, like I'd
have rather she didn't, but to be honest, it was pretty classy.
That was good fucking porn. It's not even like, I don't know, your pride to me comes from a place, and then she's out like fucking partying. Like I am that.
But they'll pay her like, fucking $50,000, $100,000 to come to a party.
But once again,
is there any
this
part
is
of you
me.
as a parent that's like, right on, she's earning?
There's part of you who's like, thank God. I guess she'd live on her own, but it just seems like such a it would be hard for me if she came in like, "Are you proud of me when I go to the parties?" I would be like,
"All right, you be her, and I'll be her dad." You gotta do
Dad.
that. Yes, Paris.
You know, I go to parties.
Yeah, I've
read.
read.
They pay me to go to parties.
Yeah.
And I just kind of go and I dance.
My God, you're so retarded.
What'd you say, Daddy?
I said, you're so right. I've seen those articles.
You know how you go. Well, you know how I go. Sorry, you don't go to the parties. They
no,
pay
my
me
partying
to go to
days
the
are
parties.
behind
I go to
me.
the party.
Yes.
Do you? So, you know, are you proud of me, Dad? Are you proud of me? Of what I've achieved?
All right, hold on. Let me think
Dad.
Okay. Let me think about how to handle this one. I got to be honest with you. I never thought we'd be having this conversation.
I'm your daughter. Why don't
I am proud of you as my daughter. In that situation, and you know the one we're talking about, you turned a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I respect the fact that you were clever enough.
I'm working it, Dad.
To work it and spin it into the simple life.
Gold, Dad. Spin it into gold.
Yes. Yeah, and for that, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Do you applaud me, Dad?
Let's not go nuts. Let me just say this.
Yes, Dad.
I feel like it might have, like, you could have went a different way with it, where it destroyed you, and broke you as a person, but you'd never let it break your spirit, kiddo. I'm
made of tougher stuff, Dad.
You are, and you're Hilton.
I'm a Hilton, Dad.
Yeah, you are. You're. Sometimes I wish you weren't, but you are a Hilton, and you totally. Don't look at me like that. Those fucking crazy eyes. I don't know if I can have a straight conversation. My kid was like wide-eyed, fucking
Ion Reaper.
Bad enough to fucking like be having the conversation where she calls me dad every 3 minutes, and she's asking me to be proud of her for what she's done. I mean, I'm sure I would take the diplomatic approach and not be like, "Oh, of course not. I'm ashamed of you. You're a whore.
Like, are you crazy?
You built an empire on whoredom." It's not.
It's like you have you like, to me. And this is totally judgmental. 100% judgmental.
I do say, though, for the record, she did turn a negative into a positive. If it was indeed not planned.
Well,
if she wasn't like,
to me, you
complicit.
take that situation and it's like she has nothing to tarnish. She does not have anything to tarnish by doing it. What's the big fucking deal? It's like, ultimately, it's like you look at Tommy Lee and Pamela releasing a porno. It's like. It doesn't, like, you think people in Motley Crue fans are like, "Fuck this."
They're like, "Oh
Tommy's
my God,
making porn."
I'm outraged. How disgusting. What happened to the music, Tommy?
Like, generally speaking, when these porns come out, it's like, you rarely see, like, Anne Murray. The porn.
And now, Canada's own Anne Murray.
Oh, Anne.
Where you're like, yeah, that's a huge departure. What a gamble for Murray that was.
I don't know, Ann.
Murray the MILF. MILF Murray presents.
I don't know if this is the revival you want.
I remember I went to not a Calvary Chapel. What were they called? Seventh-day Adventist church. Once when I was shopping around for religions, as I was kind of falling out of love with the Catholic Church. And I went to one in Shrewsbury. Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I went and tried like Calvary Chapel, tried a bunch of things. I want to say what's out there.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and they did baptisms, and they baptize adults in like hot tubs, like what looks like it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't like a true hot tub. But
Turn on the jets.
Yeah, you have been bathed in Christ, and now rub yourself against that jet. Let's all get into the Jesus hot tub. The holy hot tub. Holy hot tub party, everybody. Shirts off. I'm like, this church is not for me. I don't want to take my shirt off. But there was they baptized this chick who was like maybe 13.
Yeah.
And then afterwards they testify. And they do a full dunk in the fucking tub. And they wear little robes and shit. And then she got up and she's like, I just want to say that Jesus is better than any drug or any booze or any sex you could ever have. It's all Jesus.
How do you know?
I totally. I'm sitting in the back and that's all I'm thinking. I'm like, do I have the balls to scream out? Do you know what the fuck you're talking about? But she believed it.
Yeah.
I wish I could have like tagged her, like you tag a whale at sea or a seal. We could follow them around a little every once in a while. You check up on them and shit like that, just to see like her, because this was 96, 97, maybe 90, maybe 96, 97 or something. No, maybe earlier. Yeah, no, it was before I went to film school, so like 92, 93. I wish I could just catch up with her and be like, did you change your mind? Or do you still love Jesus that much?
Yeah.
I would like to know.